Ice cream in Birth by Sleep is an item that can cause a character to activate a specific command style instantly upon consumption. Each ice cream also has a 20% chance of activating the Frozen Fortune command style if Frozen Fortune has been unlocked beforehand. Each ice cream is made by obtaining a certain number of various flavors. The flavors themselves are dropped by prize pods. Prize pods are small floating Unversed that can be found in a world once per visit. They typically spawn in groups of 4 and look like dark green pots with black undersides and gold accents. These Unversed are unique because they drop ice cream flavors to the characters when they take damage. They can be found in every world except the Land of Departure, the Mysterious Tower, and the Keyblade Graveyard. Prize pods usually spawn in different areas of each world for all 3 characters with very few exceptions, so you will have to do some hunting. And, while they are supposed to show up once per world visit, they are not always guaranteed to spawn in where and when they're supposed to, so you will sometimes need to force them to show up. Thankfully, I have mastered the tricks necessary for this, and I figured I would share them with everyone. Timestamps are in place in the description below in case a specific world or character area is needed to be looked at. That said, I'm Ventus Arashi, and here is my guide to finding all prize pod locations for all characters in Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep Final Mix. Let's go! Like I mentioned earlier, these Unversed can only show up once per world visit for all 3 characters, and they don't always do so initially when you reach their designated spots. So, if they don't appear, leave the area and come back. If that still does not work after several attempts, leave the world and return to spawn them in. These 2 methods are what I like to call reloading the area and reloading the world respectively. You can sometimes tell if the pods will appear, or not, by the type of enemies that spawn in as you make your way towards their spot, which I will discuss in detail in a bit, so keep your eyes peeled. Once you find the pods, the easiest method to siphon as many flavors out of these creatures as possible is to stack your deck with Magnera commands and just keep using that on them until their health runs out. The base Magnet command is too weak, its range is garbage, and the spell effect does not last very long. Conversely, Magniga has the longest duration and the greatest range, but will kill them faster due to being a stronger spell. So Magnera tends to work best as it is the middle ground between the 2. Now, you can use Magniga if you want to. I personally do because it's still effective and has a longer spell duration. But Magnera does tend to give you slightly more bang for your buck. Depending on character strength, it may also be necessary to have a few Thundaga commands in the deck as well, just in case you have to take out enemies to get the pods to show up. Also, make sure to have all 5 Lucky Strike abilities activated for all 3 characters, along with all 5 Treasure Magnet abilities. This will make sure you will not lose any ice cream flavors by accident, and will also cause the pods to drop more flavors than normal. It also helps to have all 5 Magic Haste abilities activated as well to speed up the command reloading. If you need help on getting these specific abilities, the link to my abilities guide video is in the description below. Lastly, some prize pods will not show up in a world until after the world has been cleared, like the Olympus Coliseum for example, so it's best practice to do this after completing a world first just as a precaution. Terra finds the pods on this platform in the underground waterway. It's next to a waterfall near the courtyard exit. If 4 red hot chilies appear instead, reload the area or world until the pods show up. Ven finds the pods in the mine. Follow the path to the right and get to this wider area where mono truckers and red hot chilies appear. Take them out and the pods will show up right after. If 4 scrappers appear instead, reload the area or world until the pods show up. Aqua finds the pods in the flower glade. Immediately after getting there from the courtyard, walk to the left towards the stream and stop before you reach the bank. The pods will spawn in there. Terra finds the pods in the waterside area at the northernmost part, in between the wall of fire and the 2 scrappers. They're tucked away on this ledge on the left-hand side if you're heading toward the wall of fire. If a bruiser appears with the scrappers, reload the area or world until the pods show up. Ven finds the pods in the audience chamber. There is an area with columns off to the left of the chamber entrance if you're coming from the bridge. If 4 red hot chilies appear instead, reload the area or world until the pods show up. Aqua finds the pods in the waterside area. Right after leaving the forest clearing, follow the cliff on the left side until you get to a corner and they will be there. Terra finds the pods in the palace courtyard at the center fountain. 4 red hot chilies will spawn in first, so take them out so the pods can appear. If 4 additional red hot chilies appear instead, reload the area or world until the pods show up. Ven finds the pods in the mouse hole area, specifically the one accessible from the top of the end table with a clock that's found in the wardrobe room. Once inside from that spot, head to the far end and the pods will be there. Aqua finds the pods in the foyer underneath the stairs on the left-hand side. You will know that they are there because you will encounter a single bruiser right before you reach the spot. If that bruiser does not appear, reload the area or world until it does, which will signal the pods to show up. Radiant Garden is the first of 2 worlds where all 3 characters can find the pods in the exact same location and area. They're in this recess adjacent to the stairs in the fountain court. You will have to take out 4 blue sea salt unversed first. If red hot chilies appear instead, reload the area or world until the sea salts show up. The pods in Disneytown are found in the same area, the raceway, but have different specific locations for each character. Terra and Ven find them after proceeding through Pete's rec room and getting to the balcony overlooking the raceway. Terra can find them on a blue-walled rooftop in the distance. To reach it, Terra will need to have the high jump unlocked and either 2 maxed out fire dashes in his deck or the air slide and sonic impact equipped, also maxed out. 4 blue sea salt unversed will appear first, so take them out to make the pods show themselves. If a chrono twister appears after landing on the rooftop, reload the area or world until the pods show up. Ven can find them almost immediately, but he needs to take out 4 blue sea salt unversed first. If none appear, reload the area or world until they show up. Aqua finds them on the ground. To find them, head toward the raceway registration spot where Chip and Dale are. Once there, head to the right against the wall with the hidden Mickeys. A few blue sea salt unversed will appear before the pods do, so if you don't see the sea salt unversed first, reload the area or world until they show up. Olympus Coliseum is the second of 2 worlds where all 3 characters can find the pods in the exact same location and area. They are in the southeast corner in the town near Thebes. The pods will spawn in simultaneously with red hot chilies as well, so make sure to pay attention. If only the red hot chilies appear instead, reload the area or world until the pods show up. Terra and Aqua find the pods in the exact same place and area, in the Turo prison block at the far end by the wall. Ven finds the pods in the Durgeon transporter. To get them to appear, the first wave of enemies in the room must be taken out first. The pods will then show up in the airlock spot that leads to the ship exterior. If sonic blasters appear instead of jelly shades, reload the area or world until the jelly shades spawn in. Terra finds the pods on a small cliff spot in the Skull Rock entrance area. Specifically, it's the skull's left eye. You can get to it from inside of the Skull Rock Caverns area from the right eye after a bit of platforming on the exterior and using an air slide to reach the other side. Or you could just do what I did and take a shortcut on the outside by also using the air slide. If jelly shades and a triple wrecker appear in that spot instead of the pods, reload the area or world until the pods show up. Ven finds the pods in Mermaid Lagoon on the ledge accessible from the cliff path. A wild bruiser will show up by itself first, then the pods and yellow mustard unversed. If the wild bruiser and yellow mustard show up at the same time, reload the area or world until they are separated. Aqua finds the pods in the Indian camp at the far north end by the cliff edge on the patch of green grass. The pods will appear alongside a wild bruiser, so if they are not there, reload the area or world until they show up. The pods are guaranteed to show up each time in 2 Mirage Arena missions for all 3 characters, Risky Riches and Treasure Tussle. Risky Riches is available at Arena Level 8, while Treasure Tussle is available at Arena level 15. To prepare for both missions, stack the deck with multiple Magnigas, 2 Thundagas, and a Mega Flare, because you will be running through waves of enemies before the pods appear. For both missions, the pods will appear during the third wave of the third round. Use the Magniga Thundaga Mega Flare combo to blast your way through the first 2 rounds of each mission. Once the third round hits, do not use the Mega Flare during the round until after the third wave is finished. Otherwise, you'll destroy the pods without getting any flavors for your trouble. Once that is done successfully, finish the missions and the flavors are yours. Once all the ice cream flavors are collected, each character must return to Disneytown and talk with Huey at the ice cream shop. Turn all flavors into Huey and you will unlock the Patissier trophy, all the ice cream types, and the Sweet Stack Keyblade as a reward. And that about wraps it up for this guide. I sincerely hope this was helpful, so thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Ventus out.